Grux damage nerfs have hit live servers, Beliga may be falling out of favor, and a new carry has just dropped. In today's video, we will be providing you with an updated tier list for every single role for patch version 17. We'd like to send out a huge, heartfelt thank you for all the amazing support that we've received thus far. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be able to help so many people. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can stay up to date on all patch changes. Despite Grux support becoming stronger for patch version 17, top lane Grux has not been as fortunate. Despite Grux's smash and grab getting a cooldown buff, changes to his health and damage have left us with what seems to be a more positive change for the support role when compared to the solo lane. Because his close matchups have gotten closer with less room for error, we felt it only appropriate to slide Grux down a tier. Our current lane highlight is our favorite lane cancel, Steel. With his safe playstyle and teamfight ability, he'll provide a safe pick into all matchups. His core build includes Fire Blossom, Flux Matrix, and World Breaker. Sprinkle in a little Sapphire's Mantle and you'll be all set. Looking at the solo lane tier list, you'll see most, if not all, is relatively similar to last patch, with a few adjustments. Top lane Quang has lost more durability than we expected, and with some more durability changes this patch, you will see Quang move quite a bit in all roles. We were optimistic that the changes wouldn't affect most matchups, but after examining his win rate, that is not the case. Although his stint atop the solo lane was short-lived, it seemed that pred devs might be overtuning him, so look for possible adjustments down the line. We'd like to point out also some mid-deck shuffles like Iggy, showing an increase in win volume. We are optimistic that some new faces may start creeping into the higher tiers, but for now, the majority of our recommendations remain the same. If we move over to the jungle now, let's start off by covering the Quang nerfs. With Quang's fall from grace due to his lack of durability and continued reduction in physical armor, armor growth, and shield bonus health, we find that the champion will most likely settle into the A tier, but could continue to slide if his win rate doesn't begin to rebound with the new style of play. Moving on to Crunch, we felt it only right to give the damage robot some love. With obvious restrictions in competitive, his win rate is above 51% in solo queue, so this kind of demands a little bit of respect. Continue to use Mutilator, Augmentation, and Elefrost for his core build, and take Phoenix as your crest of choice. Salvation and Crystalline Cuirass seem to be common in-game items, but we leave those decisions to you. Moving on to the jungle tier list now, the changes had very little impact on overall meta. You'll find some non-tank options beginning to break into the upper tiers, like the specialist One Trick Shimby, who is our biggest riser. With a win rate hovering just over 50%, it seemed only right to bring her into the A tier. Mid lane is going to be seeing one of its staples slide down a tier. With the changes to Belica's attack speed, late game void bombs, and ultimate scaling, this should affect both her laning presence early as well as how she feels late game. She should still be considered a good control mage, but hardcore Belica players should notice a slightly different champion. Argus is another champion sliding this patch due to a slew of changes. Between his health, damage, mana, and scaling being nerfed, we'd like to remain optimistic that his utility will keep him in the A tier, but only time will tell. Our OP champion recommendation this patch is Gideon. Due to recent win rate data and ease of use, it only makes sense that mid with the highest win rate to be on top of the mountain, and for those of you who'd like to take him out for a test ride, look to build standard mage with a core build consisting of Megacosm, Wraith Leggings, and Caustica with the Soul Bearer crest. So if we're moving over and looking at the mid lane tier list, we now have a shift with Wraith moving into S tier. Ease of use and time on champion seem to be dragging this champion's win rate into the gutter, but among the high rank community it still remains quite high. Take this into consideration if you're a first time Wraith player, because the road might start off rocky, but with time you will begin to find success. Also, keep an eye out for Iggy pushing his way into relevance with the buff to his damage. Although he may be average, he could be a dark horse for A tier if the win rate trend remains the same. Moving on to the support role. With none of the changes affecting the champions directly or indirectly through items, you'll still see Richter remain at the top of our list. Now, I had a lot of people reach out to me about Zara's support, and although I have been able to play against some fairly good ones, I believe you have to find the right style combined with a carry who knows how to play with that style in order for it to kind of work out. We managed to butcher most opportunities with this pick, so we're still kind of undecided on how to judge him. So he will stay in the weak category till we can narrow down more insights. For all you Zara supports out there, throw a comment in the comment section if you think Zarus is a good support and why you think he's a good support. Moving on to the highly anticipated carry lane. With the addition of Grim, we find it only right to give our first impressions. Grim's damage output is absolutely on the high side, but that's about all that's good about him when you compare him to his peers. His big frame, lack of mobility, and poor wave clear make him a candidate for average, but we can see that there is potential. Early win rates also suggest he requires a different style of play to find success. It seems skilled positioners are having the most, but that is still to be decided. Mindrazor, Imperator, and Caustica, not Demolisher, as your core build, and look to use Obelisk as your crest to increase his ability for one-shot potential. Onto the tier list, the landscape remains relatively the same. Drongo is finding more success than anticipated last patch, but due to his current changes to his damage, we are reluctant to move him. If he continues his current trajectory despite the changes, you could see Drongo moving, but for now we are in the wait and see mood. Well, that's all we got for you guys today. If you like the content, please hit that like and subscribe. Throw your opinion down in the comment section. What did we get right? What did we get wrong? And like always, be blessed, be positive, be safe, and until next time, peace.